Welcome to the fourth video from my Great Guitar Build-Off 2022 entry of a Mandola. In this video, we're going to continue working on the body, preparing it for the top and the back to be installed by installing the second kerf lining. We're going to put braces on the top and the back. We're going to inlay a backstrip on the back piece. And this is all about getting ready. In the next video, we will finally begin gluing the body together and doing some more work as we move forward. Some of the steps seem a little disjointed, but I've kept everything in chronological order. And sometimes I'm moving to other steps while the glue dries. And got to get something done while you're waiting. So hope you enjoy this video. So now we're going to inlay the back stripe on the back side of the mandolin. The bindings are going to be bloodwood with a maple stripe. It's got to be laid in a 1/4 inch wide channel right on the center line. So I measured my router, and it's 1 3/4 to the edge of the router from the center of the bit. I've put a straight edge on that mark. There's the center line, and I'm cutting about halfway through. Hopefully the thing won't split in half. Probably will, but we'll deal with that when it happens. Got a nice channel down the center. The inlay piece fits perfectly. A bit proud, which is good. We can always we'll sand that down or scrape it down. I'm just going to mark it so I can cut it off so I don't have a lot of overhang, and then we will inlay it. Next step today is going to be to brace up the top. I've got a pattern that I came up with. This is of my own invention. I don't know if it's true to what should be with this. The mandolin this is based on is an arch top, and it's got tone bars rather than bracing. I've rethought the two braces that go off the X, and I think there's just going to be one right in the middle. I don't want to over brace it, and I haven't decided if I'm going to include this brace. So right now all I've marked on there is the X brace. And the nice thing is the X brace is going to go right under where the feet of the bridge will be. So I shouldn't need a bridge plate, but I'll think of that as I'm bracing everything up. So I've got some Sitka spruce that I'm going to use for my bracing material. It's 1/4 sawn, and your braces should be 1/4 sawn. That gives you the most strength vertically. You don't have to worry so much about the braces cracking. So I'm going to cut some rough pieces. We'll make up the X braces, and then we'll proceed to work on any other braces that we need to put in. The next step is going to be to put braces on. I've cut the braces. Cut some braces to a little over 1/2 inch by a little over 1/4 inch, and I'm going to use the drum sander to smooth them out. And these will be the X braces, and I'm going to leave them square. I'll shape them once I glue them to the top, and there's enough leftover material to make additional braces. Now that I've got them sanded, I'm just going to mark them to length and cut them off and create the notch that we'll need for these cross braces. And then I'm going to mark the pieces where they cross. That's it, they come down and line up on the marks. ready to glue these braces in place. So I've test clamped my braces, and I've decided that a single brace going this direction would be perfect. And then I think I'm going to have a couple of small braces on these edges just to make sure that the top is supported. But I also then need to figure out where I'm going to put sound hole, whether I do F holes or a single sound hole in the middle. I'm leaning towards a couple of holes in this area on each side. Alright, so we've heated up the glue. We're ready to go. Making sure we got good contact everywhere, and this will now need to set up for 12 to 24 hours. So that's about it on the top today. It's the next morning, and we have removed all the clamps from our glue ups from yesterday. The back, you can see that stripe is installed. I've sanded it flush with the drum sander and done the final thicknessing on the back. So it's ready to be glued on when we get to that step. Well, we've also got to put braces. We're going to put braces on the back. The braces are all glued up on the top. I'll take a cabinet scraper later and scrape off that excess glue. The kerf lining is all set inside on the what's going to be the front of the mandolin, the top. I'm just going to install the kerf lining for the back. Pretty much the same procedure as we did yesterday. We're going to attach it with the old brown glue, clamp it up overnight, and then we'll be ready to move on to the next stage, which will be to put some reinforcement strips, some thin rosewood strips, just because the way the grain works, if it's going to get, it could split easily, and what this does, it just kind of reinforces the grain. Prepared the braces. This is quarter sawn mahogany. I've got 3 braces for the back. The back is thicker than the top, but you still need some bracing to support it. We're going to do the same as we did with the top. I'm going to put some glue on the braces, set them in place, and clamp them up. And when they're dry, we'll be just about ready to put the body together once we do the reinforcements. And actually, one thing we will do after we glue the top on is we will install the electronics before we install the back. There's not going to be a lot of room to work inside the body, so I need to kind of get that done ahead of time. We'll talk about that when we come to it. The glue is dry on the braces, so what I'm doing now is I'm taking a chisel and very carefully scraping off the excess glue, the squeeze out. Alright, we're ready to glue these strips in place. I have put a little bit of acetone on to get rid of the oils. I'm going to be using tape to hold these in place, so I'm going to pre-cut a few pieces so I'm not struggling. Alright. Just take some glue. Set the piece in place. And use a piece of tape just to secure it. And that's it. We'll work our way around and have all this done. So now on the top, the last thing I have to do before I shape the braces, or I could do it after I shape the braces, is to decide what kind of sound holes I'm going to have. They're not going to be F-shaped, but I'm thinking that this one will somewhat follow the curve of the outside, more like an oval sound hole. I think that'll just look different and interesting. And I'm just going to get out my scroll saw and cut them out. Alright, the holes are cut out. They're not exactly perfect. There is always some saw marks. I'm just going to use a round file to take out some of the saw marks, and we'll hit it with some sandpaper too. Now we can give it a good sanding on the back, get any stray glue marks off. And again, no one will see it, but I'll know it's there. So now it's time to shape the braces. So I'm going to bring them down on the edges, close to where the sides are going to be, and then we'll see about scalloping them in the middle. Just take off a little more weight and emphasize certain tones. That's a pretty good start for that one. We'll do the final thicknessing as we get close to the sides. When we go to attach it to the sides, we need to know exactly where it's going to hit. These lines are guidelines. It may not hit exactly in those spots, as past experience has told me. So now I'm going to proceed to bring down just the middle of this just slightly. I'm going to scallop it just a slight amount. There we go. We have one brace partially done. Now we'll just go around and do the rest. The braces are now all scalloped and sanded. We are almost ready to glue the top on. Thanks for watching. In the next video, we'll prepare the back braces, continue on with the build of the Mandola.